have this here. Constructing anything. That's fine. Where at? What was it like? Personal injury. Like they have to be running like your info, right? And like having it directed, like the directed ads. Weird that they both be on that same of a wavelength though. Like it'd be believable if you might go like, oh, I got 2 ads for attorneys, but like one was different than the other, different areas or whatever. But my favorite lawyer. Well, I don't watch TV. Is it possible that ad might be on streaming services? If so, I have not seen it. No. I am having a good evening. I believe me, I would be surprised if it would take a very unique type of firm to have sponsored ads like that on something like this. And not that they don't exist, because they do, but there aren't a lot of them because most firms are still owned by old fogies who probably don't know what YouTube is or just think it's Satan or something. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope you're having a fine day. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say evening, but then White Mouse comes in like it's 7 a.m. here. I'm having breakfast. For that in about 9 hours. Okay. So we got Athena. Hollow. Oh my god. Okay, let me tell you who I have here instead of Athena that are like saved. Gone. No idea why. We have mine, of course. Gant for some reason. Tobias. Juror number 6. Bo the Clown. Bushel. Holly. Kristoff. Manfred. Old Bag. Judge. Herlock. Phoenix. Edgeworth. But no Athena, and I know we've used. Yeah, here's Athena. What did I use? Oh, fine. I would hope God that it was a huge troll. Never want to see that man again. What the heck? Who brings a defendant to his own trial late? Well, especially if they're... Well, okay. Actually, now that I think about it, in certain places, it's more often than not that the defendant is late if they are held in custody, because sometimes those if they're not being held in the jail, which sometimes they will be brought to the jail if they're not being held in, but sometimes they just come directly from whatever correctional facility they might be held in, from there to the court, and that can, like, procedures behind that can take a while. So it's not really all that surprising that it's happening. Plus, the request was so last minute, I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. Now here, I know we've been through this way back, but again, in this situation, as Athena, you would say, Your Honor, my client and I haven't even had a chance to converse yet. I was just appointed. We asked for an adjournment of this hearing for a later date so that we may prepare our defense so that my client's rights are properly exercised. And he is made aware of all of them. But obviously we know that's not going to happen here, so I don't remember what my widget voice was, though. It was either really high or really low, because it can't be anything in between. Like, it's got to be either like, he's late for a very important day, or it's got to be something like, he's late for a very important day. My name is Athena Sykes, if you don't remember that from the second case in this game. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how. Oh wait, is this the DLC? Or is the DLC one after? The normal? Okay. I'm a fully confident I'm a fully confident too. I'm a fully competent defender of the Wright Anything Agency. It's odd that she would have to say that. You'd just say you're a defense attorney at the Wright Anything Agency. Though I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. It appears we've made it just in time? Generic voice, because I don't know who this is? Where have you been? Trial's about to start, Simon. Oh. 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 Okay. Give me a moment. I realized I would have to do some Dual Destinies reconnaissance. Wait, why can I hear the game audio through these? If I hook my earbuds up to the computer, would I still hear the game audio coming from the Switch? Oh, that's really interesting. Sorry, that just blew my mind. I was not expecting that. Okay. I have to remember what my voice was. Man, when did I do Dual Destiny? No, it couldn't have been that long ago. It's been 2 years? No. 3 years. It's been 3 years. Holy shit. Oh. Why did I give him this voice? Oh my god. It wasn't just deep and gruff. It was a very Oh my god. She had a panic attack when she didn't have another member there. So it's more about she's not narrating to us. She's talking to herself. She's giving herself a pep talk. Depressed Australian. It is like a you didn't get so worked up, Athena. His boldness can wait. There's no way he'd wait for me. Besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with him right out of the gate? Dealing with such matters is... God, I can't get this... I can't... Hold on. Dealing with such matters is part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, covering for your lateness is not. Still but a rank amateur, I see. I'm still in, like, the... It's, like, mixing with country, kind of, and it's, like, weird. This is Simon Blackwell. Blackwell, not Blackwell. Not doing well. You might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back. As for our shared specialization in psychology. We're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's kind of my senior, I guess. But twisted sense of humor or no, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time. Oh, that's why I did the eye makeup like that. I got it. I got it. So, we're all right, Dono and Justice Dono. Mr. Wright is abroad and Paolo's helping Trucy with her magic show. He's like, I need your best attorney, right, Dono? He's like, okay, well, I can't give you my best attorney because he's helping out at my minor daughter's magic show. But I can give you our second best attorney. Also our, in theory, worst attorney. Didn't I tell you? They're what? So neither of them are here? Yeah, it's there, it's that. So neither one of them. Is it because, like, they wouldn't actually talk like that? So neither one of them are here? Leaving you to take this on alone? Yep. Ye gods. Call Wright Dono back. It's not too late. Oh, no, not too late at all. He would only need to know how to teleport. Very well. And I will settle for Justice Dono. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here. Hollow's literally in the middle of a show, Simon. I would not accept that. Oh, why do I still have these on? But now I know how that works, so that's really good. I just need to get the AirPods synced up to the... May not want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails in spectacular fashion, no. As I win the heck out of this trial. Heckin' heck. I'll be okay, promise. So wipe that look off your face already, will you? Anyway, I take it the guy behind you is... Yes, he's your... He's asleep again. Oi, Bucky, wake up. Yeah. Oh, man, what'd you do that for, Simey? Oh, Lord. Oh, he's drunk. Oh, Lord. This is horrible that he's drunk. Oh, yeah. I've seen this happen, too. I've had to cover for it. I didn't even mention it to him like it was an issue. I just told him, I'm like, just let me do all the talking, which he was very much okay with. So thankfully we were not in trial, not contesting what was going on, but he could have gotten a worse sentencing, so to speak. It wasn't sentencing, it was called a disposition. We're talking about civil juvenile court. But yeah, it still had to make sure he presented fine. I don't know what voice to give this guy. When I see someone with like super chubby cheeks, I usually like to give him my fish voice, but that's gonna be way too much talking like this. Besides, it's still better for the fish on the ground. Or really, 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 really big people who don't have a ton of dialogue, you see. So, I mean, it's interesting because his hair is kind of like, he tries to present. Like, you can't just get that hair by doing nothing. Let's see a speech pattern. And I mean, I guess I have to make it seem like he's drunk, right? So, okay. Who's this yellow chickadee? She is your lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however. Lawyer? She sure doesn't look it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something? Oh, he really does have like a British accent. Is she like your fellow apprentice or oh God, apprentice or something? Something like that. I've known her longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another. Oh, okay. Well then, I guess I better call her Ms. Chickadee then. Whoa, 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 Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind at his own trial. I know we just met, but I'm about ready to give him a piece of my mind. Do as you will, just save it for after the trial. Ms. Chickadee? Don't call me that. How'd you do? Simon here's an old friend of mine. I'm the 4th generation head chef of West Soba. Wet noodle number 4, bucket wet. Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Wet. Is that supposed to be wheat? So he can pull himself together when he wants to. Yeah, because he's talking to a nice young lady. Wait, is she's, I don't remember her age. She's of age, right? Nice young adult lady. So let's not get into that type of client again. Jesus Christ. If only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Having been accused of a murder that only occurred yesterday, I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy. And you happen to be there at the theater where it all happened too, right? They say they found a Rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room. Indeed. Victim, master storyteller Typhoon Tornado. That's a cool fucking name, actually. Was a longtime patron of Wet Sober. Master Tornado had been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Noodle number 3 passed away. How old was Wet Noodle number 3? I see, so the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh? So where's the motive? That stupid old fuck. Like a father? No way. He was always dishing my sofa. How dare you speak ill of him? Running your mouth like that is why they suspected you of his murder in the first place. Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave. Okay, they're your part, so she's 19. Okay. But Sammy! The police, none of them believes me. They won't listen to me. Looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Don't worry, Mr. Wet. Everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now. You mean you believe me, ma'am? I don't know what voice it's supposed to be, but we're gonna roll with it until it kind of settles. Of course, no matter what, I'll believe in you to the very end. Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee. It's like this mix between like super Southern and like super Cockney. Now come on, I need you to shape up, just like those al dente noodles of yours. Yes, ma'am. My soba is the freshest. Oh no. Oh no. Mr. Wet. Ah, Bucky, you great big Pollock. So, how exactly do you know this guy? Can we pass it off like he is having like a medical episode and we need to adjourn? I used to frequent West Sober. Still do, in fact. So I've known him since he was a lad. That's why his father and Master Tornado were always so good to me. I didn't know you liked soba so much, Simon. There's a lot of things you don't know about me. You can't ask sometime. I wouldn't expect one such as you who eats meat slapped between slabs of bread. Do you understand the delicate taste and subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour? Hey, that's just rude. Besides, don't y'all have buns with meat in the middle? How is that any different? Well, but I digress. All about flavor and subtlety and stuff. I'll let Wet Sober end like this. I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Tornado in the next life. Ah, I see. That's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust. It was never my intention to ask you. I'll show him I can handle it just fine. Nope, I believe it's just about time. What? We haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. Oh, god damn it, Simon, you are so fucking funny. The end of case 3 was very good. I did not see that suicide coming, and that whole dynamic hit pretty hard. It wasn't a dry eye in the chat. It's weird because he does, like, they seem to write him like he has kind of a British accent, so he would know what bread is, but like he's actually from Japan, where again they have meat buns, so it's not like he's never had meat and bread before put together. I'm just trembling with the excitement of battle, that's all. Of gits. Wait, how was this pronounced again? I know you guys told me. Gits? Of gits. Of gits. Of gits. Let's do this. Come on, Mr. Wet. Get up off the floor. We got a case to win. Yes, Miss Chickadee. Oh God, I don't want it to be Southern like that, because that's just like her then. Yes, Miss Chickadee. I don't think I can say that word without having a Southern accent. Yes, Miss Chickadee. I'm gonna do my best.
Wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba.
Wait, I got a call I gotta take. Yella, 2 bowls of noodles. No can do. Kinda busy at the courthouse. Oh, they hung up. Well, that's rude. Okay, let's do this. His best Keanu Reeves from The Last Samurai. I see what you did there. God, and don't get me wrong, I like The Last Samurai. When we saw it in theaters, that shit. Date myself real close. When we saw that in theaters, we came out of it like, wow, that was way better than we thought it would be. But if it had been Keanu Reeves instead of Tom Cruise, would have been even better. And from that day forward, whenever we had like an awesome talk or something as friends, me, Tone, and KY, we'd get up and we'd be like, that was very good conversation. Because what's his face is fucking peak in that movie. Damn, what's his name? In Inception too, right? That dude is awesome. He's not gonna do it himself or his case any favors like this, Simon. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere. Let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for Ondon noodles. I don't know what's going on with his voice. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop apologizing and just do it. I'm fresh like my soba. You don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh. Cut the dough fresh and boil them. He's blacked out. Oh boy, I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these 3 freshes of soba he was talking about? First, buckwheat seeds and groats are ground to make buckwheat flour. And dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so that the soba is fresh when eaten. Oh, so that's what he meant. I wouldn't want to make him. I wouldn't want him to make me any soba right now, though. That's for sure. Fina, this is no time for idle chatter. You need to get into the courtroom now. Just remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand. Expect any help from my quarter. There you go, treating me like I'm incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking you for help anyway. Just you wait, Simon. I'll show you. Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here, but that's all right. I can do this on my own. Ken Watanabe. Thank you. Yes. Court is now in session. All rise for the Honorable Judgy Udgy Bald Man. Oh God, I just forgot. I don't have the muscle memory for his voice, if that makes any sense. Court is now no, because that's too much like the bailiff. Court is court is now in session for the trial of Bucky Witt. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor. When does this happen in the timeline? What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Sadmati? That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby. Yes, that's what you should always do. How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country? Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. Oh, so he wants what's his face to win, or what's his face not to go to jail. Besides, I have a debt to repay. Though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms with sending her down to hell. Dog. I could take this as he threatened to murder me.
Objection!
He literally just threatened to murder me. You have a score to settle. It's with Apollo, not me. But more importantly, I'm not a callow thing. I'm a qualified and capable attorney. And what is that yellow attire, if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring chick? I mean, I agree that the yellow attire is kind of garbage. There's only one person that ever pulled it off, and that was April O'Neil in 1990. So, not necessarily going to work as well these days. Now, cease your shrill chirping. Now, Prosecutor Sadmati. She is still only a teenager. Please go easy on her. Okay, I'm starting to get it back a little bit. It's still not where I want it to be. Like, I can feel that it's not where the peak that it needs to be. Well, yeah, we have to obey their rules in their country. He has to obey our rules in our country. Great, now even the judge is giving me the kid treatment. Very well. Shall we begin, Your Honor? Hold on a goddamn minute. How do I get to... Oh, he's 25. Yes, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmati, please give your opening statement. I'll show them what I can do. They'll be sorry they underestimated me. Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence. Your Honor, he just threatened to kill my client. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a storyteller's restaurant called Kurute. Nice. The victim was a great master of the Tornado School of Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Taifu Tornado. That name's still awesome. The scene of the murder was the theater's dressing room. It's accessible via the staff entrance hallway and has an inner and outer sliding door. Okay, yeah, that's true. The man with the yellow hat pulled it off. Albeit in a storybook medium. How old is Curious George? That's even older than the Turtles, isn't it? The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Cause of death is suffocation. How the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. I mean, it looked like his head went into a bowl of noodles and there was liquid and then he couldn't breathe. Although, to be fair, the liquid probably leaked out. It being on its side probably didn't happen after he suffocated. And going face down is exactly where you want to be if you drink that much fucking alcohol. Although this is apparently Camel's cigarette flavored rice wine? I mean, and just look at the amount of cocaine just strewn about the room. Like, dude, can we see his toxicology report, please? Because I think he might have suffocated on account of his fucking body shutting down and the amount of drugs he's been having here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what I thought too, but they are too big for sake, but that bottle also looks way too big to be like a vodka bottle. Gin. Maybe he's just really small. That could be. Well, yeah, but if it's a wine bottle, you don't use those glasses for wine either. If I see you drinking wine out of one of those glasses, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna we'll even go to like Target or something, and I'll buy some wine glasses and have you then transfer it into the proper receptacle. Yeah, those are some, I feel like those cards soaked up a pretty good amount of liquid for some cards. Looks like he ate half of a meat bun. Simon. Let's see. Tissue and... What the why are there two plugs? Oh, one's for the refrigerator. So the TV's not plugged in, but I believe the fridge is because the fridge light is on. There's a can of milk. Okay, and then that looks like that could be a beer or a lemon soda or a LaCroix with the idea of lemon flavor. What do you call those? Is that a pressure cooker? Or is that just like a hot plate? Well, that would be a... Oh, I guess it would just be a hot plate, right? And then I'm not sure if that's a like cardboard from like a roll of something, like wrapping paper, or like an actual stick of some sort. Bowl. Big bowl. Got some Reynolds wrap. Another piece of paper that looks like it's been part of the wrapping paper from whatever's down in the bottom right there. I can't really make out what that is yet. And then a knife and a gigantic cutting board. Oh, anything weird on him? Not really. I don't know what that is up there on the corner of the table. That's not a crock pot. They had a normal pot on top of a normal griddle. Not griddle. Like it looked like it's a normal stove thing. A crock pot wouldn't have the cage and flame coming up like that. At least that's not how crock pots generally work. All right, later, Retro. Now that I think about it, when I went to... I guess I didn't drink any wine when I went to Japan, though. I drank nothing but whiskey highballs. No water. No, I had to drink plenty of water because we were walking all over. Whiskey highballs and the lemon... I talked about this before. These things were like 9% or something like that, and they were $1. They were made by Suntory, I think. It was like strong something. And it was... Wow. Oof. I will now submit the incident report to the court. God damn, I want to go back to Japan. Prosecutor Satmati, how can you name Mr. Wet as the culprit? You don't know how the victim was killed, or even with what? While it is true that the weapon and precise method are as yet unknown. Oh, remember when he brought that up as a huge deal in the last trial? Ah, well, we have the weapon. Wait, no, what was it? Oh, no, because we're saying that it wasn't the knife. And he's like, well, then where's the weapon? Then you don't know. The accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder. I will explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. Guess this means he has some kind of evidence to present. Uh, I mean, as a lawyer would, I would assume. Now, would the accused care to plead his case? Come to think of it, where is the defendant, Miss Sachs? Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid Mr. Wett isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. Surely it is the lack of a clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Objection, speculation. Trying to taint the fucking jury. Great, starting off on the wrong foot already. Mr. Wett is the head chef of the sober shop frequented by the victim. You want everything to be so. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wett went to the theater at the victim's request. Yeah, that still doesn't exist. Typhoon Tornado was a connoisseur. I'm sorry, I don't know what this word is. I'm not from here, I'm Chinese. Of soba, as you can see in these photographs. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there. Very likely. Known for sure. Liking soba is one thing, but making it in a theater dressing room's a bit much, nah? Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable. And yet the accused had ample motive. For in the victim's safe, we discovered the deed to the accused's shop. Mr. Wett was to inherit Wett Soba when he lost his father recently. However, it's believed the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. This fucking guy? Really? Like, no way. No, he was almost certainly too drunk to do any of this. Your Honor, I can prove that my client was way too shit-faced to have carried out this master plot. Murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a plausible motive. So that's what this case is about. Wish Simon had filled me in a little better. I could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. You gather wrong, sir. Well, you see... Oh, you're going to ask me a question, and I start to answer you, and then you object to it. You are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in the courtroom unprepared. You are an embarrassment to your profession, you putrid egg yolk. Okay. And again, given the system here, and given that she was just appointed, I would say she's a fucking hero, but... Sadmati is I don't he seems very good at just making shit up, but always in like an insulting manner. He doesn't really do it for the case or anything like that. He just says shit and then people go, "Oh yeah," you know, like everybody does these days. Eek. I'm sorry. Don't apologize to him. Hollows a red pepper and now I'm an egg yolk? Only just started. I've already been demoted from spring chick. Dude did devolve her. I'm ready to call my witness, Your Honor. Let us listen to the words of one who was present when the crime was discovered. Oh, so this person also had the opportunity, if he could get in there when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found? Very well. Witness, please take the stand. Christ. Oh, I forgot that. I had already forgot that he told us that he had been there. Also, I forgot to put on my fucking. Ugh. God damn it. Ugh. Okay. Yep. All right. Ready to go. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Simon Blackwell, prosecutor. Prosecutor Blackwell? You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand. Not that he had to, but there would normally be a witness list submitted prior to the hearing, yes. There simply wasn't time. I had to spend more time insulting you than providing you with useful information. What a shame, Prosecutor Blackwell. Had you shared the damning scene you witnessed beforehand with the defense, you could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul that much faster. Damning scene? What in the world did Simon see? Prosecutor Marty, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm. By all means. This case involves rakugo, a very traditional form. Wait, whoa. I completely lost the accent there. This case involves rakugo, a very traditional. Okay, let's try this again. I am just having all sorts of trouble today. Might be because my throat was sore after yesterday's stream, just from all of the yeah, lawyers talk a lot, but not. I probably talked more during that stream. It was probably like 2 days worth of dialogue compacted into 3.5 hours, at least 2 days, possibly more. My throat's not happy with me. This case involves rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle the case competently? Are you implying that I am not qualified for this case? Not yet. I'm simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with I'm simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic. Now, it is a prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. Very true. And the defense attorneys as well. I did some research on Rakugo last night using AI, and I've grasped the overall idea of it. Sorry, I made myself laugh. I asked ChatGPT, and it told me everything I needed to know. How much could you possibly grasp in a single night? That bloomin' ChatGPT is full of birds. Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling in Japan, but in it the storyteller sits alone on the stage with only a fan and a towel. That's really funny. And the Rakugo artist tells long, whimsical stories, giving each character a distinct voice. This traditional art was originally invented by monks to make sermons more interesting. Okay. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jugemu instead? Ugh. It appears you have put in a bit of study. Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Blackwell. I can see why you are known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. Now, I would love to see you perform that story you mentioned, if you don't mind. If that is Your Honor's request. Jugemu. Your Honor, can we please get back to the trial? I'd let them do it. Like, whatever's going to give me more time to get my fucking case together, let them do it. Let them waste the court's time. Oh, right. Of course. I nearly forgot. This is a court. Seriously, of all the things for you to forget. Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackwell, please tell this court what you witnessed. I watched Matlock in a bar last night. The sound wasn't on, but I got the gist of it. Oh, Troy McClure. Hero. I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went into the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out a while later. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Uenado. No, Window. I think it's pronounced that way. Apparently then entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body. Wow, that's not super fucking suspicious at all. What a self-report. Jesus Christ. Where's Tal? Where the fuck are you, Tal? Master of self-reporting. Now, wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackwell. With testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wynn of the crime. Yeah, it's a lot easier to say in a not accent. Uendo. All I can do is state what I saw. Can't help how it appears. Qualified and capable attorneys such as you should be able to dispatch with it, right? Well, yeah, duh. All right, I guess I'd better start by getting all the info out of him that I can. I think he is on her side. He just made it very clear that he can't, like, do anything unjust. Nor can he seem like he's helping her, because that would be very bad for, you know, oh, the witness is helping the attorney, like, find holes in what he's saying. Like, that's not going to be looked on too positively. I mean, he is getting up there in age. I'm surprised he remembers anything anymore. Okay, let's look at diagram. So dressing room. What was this? Oh, what is it? Oh, those are the meat buns. Oh, those look so good. Or I guess they could be bean paste buns. In America, normally when you have something like that with a cute little animal on it, it's more like a cookie or something like that. Something sweet. Okay, so those are both drink cans. Nothing was found in his lungs. Okay, so okay. So it wasn't the liquid. Wait. But if it's suffocation, no breathing, wouldn't they have found some sort of impact marks upon his neck? Bruising or something? If the judge is 40, that is incredibly unfortunate. I'm guessing we're gonna have to. Wait, how did he get there? It says staff entrance. Otherwise, he would have had to have gone from the stage? I don't know if that's even something that matters, but... Everything's still at 4, so it's still within the timeline. Acceptable. How did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him? Went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately we didn't actually meet. You didn't see him? Why not? Gary escorted me to the dressing room. Okay, that would make sense. The sound of Rakugo being performed within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room? Yes, not just me, but Gary as well. In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive at around 4 p.m.? Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado. I could tell because it was the time-sober routine being performed in there. Well, that means the victim was killed sometime after that.
Hold it!
I mean, sometimes graves can be stress-induced. Like, the amount of grays I had until I was 30 were very few and far between. And it would excite my wife because she'd be like, oh, a gray, and then she'd like go and get a, because she liked plucking them out. Now there are too many for her to look out. So, yeah, it can also just happen. Like, I think my mom grayed early, but I think that was stress. But yeah, some people can just gray earlier. And again, in the legal profession, it kind of sucks because there's this like double standard, sexism double standard, not something implemented by us as attorneys, but if you're a man, it goes that you should let yourself turn gray because it looks like you have more experience and are more distinguished like that. However, if you're a woman, apparently not so much. So, and I've worked with a lot of female attorneys, and a great majority of them that are older, I'm fairly sure dye their hair, unless they've managed to keep some excellent color through the years, which is also possible. Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time. Yo, Coulter, what's up, dude? I have Coulter to thank for getting into Genshin Impact. I had no idea what it was until like 2 days before it released, and Coulter was like, dude, you playing that Zelda or that anime Breath of the Wild game? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh. 7 years later, still playing it. 6 years later. Gary and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing. Also, Coulter had been waiting for it to release on the Switch, which it still hasn't done. Which is so fucked up. They announced it, it just never happened. Just like that anime, like the anime of it. And Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his saints. What happened after that? was sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came out of the dressing room looking rather irate. This is most likely when the murder was committed. Objection, speculation. Victim was an elderly man. Would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. Yeah, just because it's possible, though, doesn't mean that's what happened. It doesn't mean the evidence is strong. It's just a matter of, was he the only person in there when he was killed? And you can't establish that, I think, with this evidence. Yeah, there were a few people that, like, all at once, they're like, oh man, this game looks really cool. And then jumped on it for like 5 minutes and then got up to maybe like level 10 or something like that and then never again. Like, oh, that's sad. But not every game's for everyone. Yo, what's up, Tom? I better come up with some kind of counter argument fast. Yeah, these have been newer suits. I replaced my old wardrobe when I got this past job, so I was going to be in port a ton more. Like, I think it's time to replace the suits I had for 10 years. Nope, 13 years. Good suits. That's a long time to remain, you know, viable. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was not paying attention at all to what he said happened, even though I was saying the words. So you were waiting, and then he just entered.
Hold it!
What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in? That's a very good catch, Athena. No, I couldn't. Wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. Bro, it's like right around the corner from where you are. But Gary was right in front of it, so I'm sure I'm sure she saw it all. I see. And why do you suppose Wendo went to the dressing room anyway? He had just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. Why wouldn't they have... I mean, I know why. It's for the way the game is presenting this case to us. I understand why they had Blackwell first. I would have brought the other person in first, since they would give us more information, and then Blackwell can simply reinforce what he could. That's the approach I would take to this. Baldur's Gate, the new one. Yeah, I mean, an hour is pretty good. There's actually a place here. I don't want to say the name because it's a local thing. Very easily give away where I am. This is like right next door. So, yeah, there's a suit place like right next to me. Oh yeah, hey, good luck. You should shoot me a message on LinkedIn, letting me know like what it was like and how it went, because I'm still considering taking it for me just to have it, so that if I choose to relocate to any states with reciprocity, it'd be so much easier. Hey, Trackmania is cool though. Wait, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Stepmania, the DDR game. Are you talking about like actual train tracks? So what Tom is the new one, the 3 years. Okay. I like the old one a lot. I've never had time to pick up the new one. I heard it's great though. What's the actual acronyms? What Tom is studying for take is the multi-state professional responsibility examination, and basically what it is an exam showing that you understand ethics, legal ethics, in terms of like confidentiality and how to handle certain, situations and stuff like that. And it's important because they need to know that you have a broad understanding of it, so that if you're going to another state to ever practice and you have passed this exam already, they know that you're going to, and obviously you haven't committed any other ethical offenses that might be a record. They know that you have passed this exam, and thus they can presume that you're an ethical person. July 28 and February 29. Oh, and that's plenty of time to like get ready for that too. I should do that. I really should, because California is like just so incredibly difficult to get into otherwise. Oh, that's awesome. Wait, hold on. Put a note. It is so noted. Yeah, I mean, I get the idea of they're still got their own thing kind of going compared to everyone else, so they don't want to keep it permanently open, but give like a window to people that are really serious about it. Ooh. All right, I'm a little excited. Disciples to pay the master respect right before and after each performance. And all disciples are expected to do, all disciples are expected to do this? Yes, it's common courtesy around Rakugo artists. I see. Could you tell us what happened after Window went into the dressing room? Certainly.
Hold it!
How long was he in there? How did Window act at the time? After Window went... oh, God. Sorry. That name in that accent is just giving me so much fucking trouble. After Window had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Heard a scream from inside the room. Window came flying out. Okay, that is very quick. Did you hear any signs of a struggle at that time? No, just Window's woeful scream. I see. I mean, there's no reason to lie, but I also don't have much to go on. Better ask all the questions I can. Okay, so we should do. I mean, this one is about the time, so. It really is. Oh, really? Oh, darn. Prosecutor Blackwell, what'd you go to the theater for in the first place? I went because I received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. Special show. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Window's promotion. Also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to take the stage name of Window 2, or the second. I guess since it's in Roman numerals. So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a stage name? Somebody doesn't watch any type of luchador wrestling, that's for damn sure. You really don't know, do you? In performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name. I see. Well, there was another Window Rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him, huh? All right, later, Tom. Good luck. What exactly did your invitation say? It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program. Oh, it appears Typhoon Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba or Time Soda. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba, using only his fan as a prop. I'd say he was famous, as opposed to he is. Innuendo was to perform Soba Say, or Soba Glutton. Soba-themed show, I see. Seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your boldness. First to perform the senior disciple, Gary, followed by Window. And lastly, Master Tornado. Good thing I pressed that. I see, so that's why you happened to be at the Storytellers Theater yesterday. What happened after you arrived? Which we've been through already? Okay, so let's... Actually, I think we've done enough here. Well done, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. Oh, are those people that you met in uni? While Prosecutor Blackwell and Garu were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. Kind of... he just kind of phased through them. He was heard shouting for a time inside the dressing room. About 10 minutes later, he came back out of the room, seeming rather angry. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Rendo Tornado went into the room. Why wouldn't they have went in after that? Especially if they knew he wasn't performing anymore, because it would have been silence. Been like, hey, maybe we should go check on him. Sure he's all right, you know? We're just gonna come this way and... A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Window gave a scream. Came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackwell and Garu then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. From the circumstances, it is quite clear that the accused murdered the victim. This is crucial testimony indeed. Defense, eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. No, he has not. No, he has not. Why not let it all go now and allow the victim his last rites? Not on your life. If Window went into the dressing room too and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Window was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. Could not have possibly committed murder in that time, not without making any noise. That's true if you knew how the guy was murdered, but you still don't know that. If he had marks on his throat to show that he had been strangled, yeah, he probably couldn't have done that in 2 to 3 minutes. If he had a slit across his throat, you know that, yeah, he probably could have done that within 2 to 3 minutes. And possibly they might not have heard any noise from that if he's just going... But we don't know. We just have no idea. We can't say that conclusively. Oh, Simon, why'd you have to give that awful testimony? Prosecutor Blackwell, can't you give me something a little better to work with here? Oh my God. I cannot imagine asking such an embarrassing question as an attorney in court. Can't you help me out just a little bit? For real, isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So, if you truly are capable as you claim, draw out what you need yourself. This is no time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackwell. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. That's badgering the witness. Well said. Prosecutor Blackwell, watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you are no prosecutor. He said nothing of this. He is not colluding. He just said, I can only tell you what I know. You have to ask the right questions. Begone, witness. You shall haunt this sacred hall no more. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I'll remember this, you black god. Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackwell. I've got this. But I have my way. He would not be the only one here to step down. You half-boiled, putrid egg yolk. I object to the notion that I'm a gooey, smelly mess. That much sweat you probably are at this point. Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony was like the lowly opening act of a Rakugo show. May hold the title of prosecutor, but this time he stood on the side of the defense. What? Why? He has provided no testimony that's good to our case. He gave us two things that we put into our court record. To restore balance to this trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution. And who is this witness? The person who was with Prosecutor Blackwell when the body was discovered, and the person I probably should have called first. She is another entertainer of the Tornado School, Miss Geru Tornado. Oh, I don't think my throat's ready for a girl voice. Oh my. Please state your name and occupation, witness. I know this is probably my brain subconsciously stalling as I try to think of a voice for this person. I know I'm not the only one that sees that, right? I was thinking of a clown girl voice, but I can't, but I feel like it would be, like it would sound too stupid. Well, yeah, all my voices are. But I can't do like a girl Krusty, because I can't, when I do the rasp, I can't get high enough to do a rasp. That's not totally going to kill my throat. Oh my god. It'd be like, hello everyone, I'm here to represent Tornado School with the twisty twists. But that's like a dude. That's like a dude clown. A silly dude. I guess I could do just more of a, I can't do cute. I cannot do a cute girl voice, being not a girl. Unless you think my Valley Girl's cute for some reason, but bubbly might be good, I think. But subtly dark, you guys have your confidence in my ability to sculpt this amazing multi-dimensional voice is not at all deserved. Okay. Hello everyone, I'm here to represent the Tornado School with the twisty twist. And boom, there you have it, a stunning balloon hat. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Geru Tornado. Didn't her grandfather just die yesterday? Just call me Geru, sweetie. 1, 2, boom! Balloon! Yeah. Oh, whoa! What a way to capture your audience's attention. Whew. Ooh, I dare say I can't take my eyes off those balloons. Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Judgy. Oh, God. That makes me want to do a Harley Quinn, but I think I did a Harley Quinn with somebody before, right? Oh, Mr. J. I'm glad you liked my performance. Oh, Lord. There is no game audio. It's silent. Hold on. Let's try to go to the next thing. I'm not hearing anything. Oh, Mr. Judgy, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Oh, no, you're right, because I don't hear the... Okay, let's see. Where? Oh, I wonder. Hold on. What the fuck happened? Yeah, it's not coming through the computer either. That's really weird. Maybe it's the monitor itself? Not the monitor. It's got to be the switch then. Let's see. The switch is fine. Well, let's save first. Or we do something terrible. Well, let's just exit it. Restart it. Yes, as my wife's profile. Got it back. That was so weird. I've never had that happen before. Okay. Would you consider joining my fan club, pretty please? Oh, Lord. Oh, absolutely. And please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor. Anyway, Garu, I can't help but notice that you seem awfully cheerful for having just lost your master. Of course I'm sad. But Shisho would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness. Smile, smile, smile with a twisty twist twist. Never show tears. And bloom. There you have it. One gorgeous cake. I see. I guess an entertainer's got to do what an entertainer's got to do. Her balloon art's worse than a When the Rorschach test, all I saw was a severed monster head. I did see eyeballs myself. Garu, you're obviously a balloon artist, so how did you come to be a member of a Rakugo school? Let the prosecution conduct their direct, please. Well, my father, my late father that is, was a Rakugo artist, you see? So I joined the tornado school to be just like my daddy someday. I see. My father and I owe so much to Shisho, our master. But that Bucky Wet. Oh, how could he? Okay, now do you guys see what I was talking about? This is. I want to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible. As she wiggles that thing around. Actually, now that I look at it, that cake looks like it could be like a if you attached her wings that she has like on her hips to that cake, it looks like it could be a lore accurate angel from the Bible. Those things are terrifying. Like if you want people to fall in line, just show them real pictures of angels. I'd be terrified ever doing something wrong. Your distress is entirely understandable, and my condolences for your loss. And not only that, but he had more to say about Mr. Wet. Let her fucking talk. Every time he comes to deliver soba to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away. Is there any reason why he would say such a thing to you? He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how can he say that? This is a great sense. How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset. Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Garu's balloons bias your judgment. Mr. Wet hasn't been proven guilty yet, remember? Good for her. Good for her. That, you know, for being the youngest, that's some of the most forcefulness I've seen somebody throw at the idiot judge out of all the main cast. It will be interesting to see how long that fire of yours will last, Defense. Well, I mean, were they, I guess this is something that confused me because we know that some in you know the books they'll talk about how they came down to them in a certain image, right? Like essentially to present this image to somebody so they probably wouldn't run away screaming. Is that their actual image or was that something that they just did so that the humans wouldn't like fucking have a heart attack and die immediately? Because I'm pretty sure I would be frozen, piss myself, and lose consciousness as soon as I saw something like that looking down on me to give me a message. Would have to use one of its many wings to like wake me up. Now then, Giru, please share the truth with this court. Yes, Giru, your testimony, please. Ah, yes, I do have to remember about the three freshes. They highlighted it to make sure you knew it was important. From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20, when Shisho's body was found, Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before Wendo discovered the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Yugemu was barking like mad. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have any objection to this objection? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you asking him? He's not the prosecutor in this case. He's a witness. Witnesses can't object to somebody else's testimony. Okay, I'll go along with this farce. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have any objections to this witness's testimony? No. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk, sad Marty. First you exercise me, now this. You need only do as you are instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul.
Hold it!
I can still cross-examine, you moron. Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Sadmati. I just might have an objection or two once I actually cross-examine the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Blackwell for? I'm the one you should be checking with. So when they had an important task, they essentially morphed into their final form. I suppose that makes sense. And for normal tasks, they were in their base form, so to speak. Blasphemy. There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Quranism. Fucking jection, relevance of this injection of religion into this secular fucking trial we are doing. It has nothing to do with Quranism. Oh, well, thank you. Is it Judidia? Is that how it's pronounced? I appreciate you coming by. It's hierarchy, different forms and purposes. Okay, what's the fucking purpose for gigantic eyeball with 18 wings and like weird wavy things the edge of the eye? That I don't even know. Like I'm sure some of them I've seen have just been like, this is an artist's rendition of this interpretation of, and it's not even like what it's actually supposed to. The stir of the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seems more judicious to consult Prosecutor Blackwell. That is harsh. God damn. He doesn't even see you as an adversary, Sykes, don't know. Well, I won't let either one of you insult me. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chick. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness. I hope you can make Prosecutor Sadmati see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Sykes. I don't have to prove the Prosecutor Sadmati shit. All I have to prove that to is you, Your Honor. Oh, you have to allow my cross-examination, for that is, I'm assuming, within the Constitution of Japanifornia, and that's why we have it in the first place. I'll allow for your cross-examination, so you better strike while the iron is hot.
Hold it!
So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? You're asking her to speculate. I don't think it's really on her to say that. At least that's what I would argue is the defense. I wouldn't even ask that question. The 20 minutes is a lot of time, is it? Like, it's 20 minutes between when you got there and when it was discovered that he was dead. Gotta die. Got it. I think I'll stick with Judd, if you don't mind. I'm already having trouble talking today.
I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know? Isn't that right, Simon?
Yes, Gary and I can both confirm that Master Tornado still lived at around 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you? See?
Hold it!
The fact that the two of you were in front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Of course! Or are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while standing up or something? No, of course not. I saw everything, I tell you. Fine. So you say anyway. But did you really?
Hold it!
Only the defendant Nuendo entered around the time of the murder? That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shishu. Chisho. Let's take a deep breath, okay, Gary? No, not a single other person set foot into the dressing room during that time. I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else.
I must apologize on the lawyer's behalf, and her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgression as best you can.
Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there, sweetie. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy?
All clowns are the same. I mean, yeah. Man, being a part of the Thrones just sounds awesome. Thrones. Oof. Oof. I don't know. Whether it's cool depends on whether you like visual novels and stuff like that.
Hold it!
Gamu, doing his dog.
Gamu? That's my doggy. I keep him at the theater. Let's see. With the twisty twist twist. And boom, there you have it, my cute little Jugamoo. He's kind of creepy looking and also not real. Oh, but he's a really, really good boy. And why was Jugamoo barking? You think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we have a new suspect in this case. Now why was he barking again? Oh, I remember, because it was time for me to feed him. I went into his yard and gave him some food. Didn't somebody else have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that?
Oh, okay, so there is an actual dog. She just made a balloon version of him.
Nope, the door out in the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down to the stand for a sec, please.
How many times must I do this?
You saw what Gary was talking about, right? Why didn't you mention it before?
You didn't ask. Can't be expected to remember every minute detail.
Well, remember them now, please. Did Gary go out into the yard?
Oh, she wasn't clowned up. I just figured she was always like that if she came into court like that. Yes, I remember now that she went to feed Jugemu. I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well.
You recall anything else?
Looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugemu couldn't fish anymore, so he buried the rest in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember. I talked about my thoughts of last stream, but not the case as a whole. I mean, the end of it, the twist with the suicide and stuff was really good, really good. So that was a banger ending. Is that the best ending of any third case? Huh. I guess I'd have to think about it. I don't remember a lot of them really well, you know?
It looks like Garu was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Garu's last statement added to her testimony.
As you wish.
Defense.
That's weird.
Objection!
So you were able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard. That correct? That's right. The door out in the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony. Based on those being solid walls, I don't know how she would have been able to see it. Either the door is open to the yard, but then she can't see through the door to the dressing room, or the door from the dressing room is wide open, but then she can't see it from the yard because the yard's enclosed. Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes. Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony. Here.
Take that!
Garu was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. While she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open. Ah, I see. Yes, if the door to the yard was wide open, as Garu said, it would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. What? No way! But even if there were admittedly a few moments Garu was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect the case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either, or apparently hear footsteps or doors open. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Yeah, I've been startled too. Yeah, I guess if you just look at the characters and you have no idea what's going on, you wouldn't think this game would necessarily be serious. But yes, we are defending a murderer here, alleged murder. Yeah, I would have to see all the cases laid out again, because we've been kind of like broke the curse, right? Once we started to get into investigations and Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney. Well, Investigations 1, Case 3 wasn't there. Gary, why'd you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room?
Objection!
Hide the fact? Speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder.
No, I did not. All I said is she withheld information. That is not an accusation of conspiracy. I was going to say conspiracy. Conspiracy to murder. To commit murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight, right, witness? That is leading. from direct, which you cannot. Objection.
Subscription!
Repeating.
Well, I was so shocked by what happened. I was just confused, that's all.
Even though she is trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer, truth is that she is being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected. Yes, it must be very difficult indeed. I got it back now. To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lawyer tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. None of that happened. All I can say is defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. See, this is the problem I have with Sadmati. He is, I think, the only person who I think comes close to him in terms of like pure insult, like focusing too much of his counters on insults is Godot. And Godot wasn't even doing it to the judge, really. Godot was just like, I just want to insult Phoenix to his face because I fucking hate him. Trite. So, and like, he's just making shit up. He's just making shit up. It is not true at all. Like, that's what's really bad about his prosecution. I think, from what I remember at least, his objections are actually very good. Even if his what he says when he's objecting isn't necessarily the best way to put things, his timing is usually pretty good. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly where I would have objected. So that's like his strongest point. But my God, when we're going back and forth, it is always just an insulter making shit up about, oh, you're pinning the blame on. No, nobody did that. That's actually a lie that you just created out of thin air. And like, no competent judge would take what he is saying as like, oh yeah, that's what happened. They'd be like, prosecutor, the attorney, attorney Sykes said no such thing. She simply asked why that information was withheld. But we have an idiot, so. I think he more represents the ability to easily manipulate the court of public opinion by just saying shit and people just believe it because that's what they want to believe, even though there's no evidence to support that that's actually the case at whatever he was saying. But I wasn't. That wasn't what I was trying to do. The judge is actually more of like the court of public opinion, ironically. Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Hello, Super. Welcome. Thanks for coming by. Hope you enjoyed. Well, I'm assuming you enjoyed the videos because you came to watch the live stream. But yeah, welcome. Your unskilled argument is scarring this witness even further. And if we ask the people of this courtroom, I am sure they would agree. Not like that means anything at all. What? The gallery doesn't get a say in this? Thank you. Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are in the wrong? What? Who cares? Who cares? This might be the most irrelevant thing any of the prosecutors have ever brought up before. Wonder what the gallery thinks of you. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's not that they're invisible people, but the only things like language they seem to be able to speak is which I'm sure is not actually a real language. Listen to them now with that keen sense of hearing you are so proud of. Yep, see, there it is. I'm sorry, Sadmati, I don't speak that. No, I was just trying to find the truth. Why is the whole gallery siding with Prosecutor Sadmati? They definitely wouldn't right now. That is not what would happen right now. Why is he wearing that in our courtroom? You must be an immigrant. I don't want him defending the state, prosecuting on the side of the state. I'm a part of the state. The people understand. They know what is right and what is wrong. I hear the voices in my head. They talk to me. Wait, no. They come to me. They comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me, right? They talk to me. I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. It's so intense. I feel so alone up here fighting by myself. The judge is just letting this go because he's a moron. Are you afraid, child? You're 6 years older than her. It is ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once. Okay. That's a fucking power move. Just leave. You don't belong here. God damn. But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. Slam the desk like Mr. Wright does. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Garrett's testimonies. Now you would continue to resist? You are childish in defeat as well, I see. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster Brown. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? Don't answer that, it's not a relevant question to anything. With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. Okay, Monokuma, relax. Little push, such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Have we kept a tally of the amount of times we've actually found conclusive evidence when they said it was conclusive evidence? It's still at 0, correct? Conclusive evidence, huh? I sure have heard that word thrown around a lot with no real basis for it. That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. Victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Oh, right, because we've never overcome a person's dying message before, right? Like that specific person, like someone else couldn't have written it with their offhand in perfect fucking cursive after breaking his neck. It bothered me that people weren't more upset about that when I was talking about it. It still bothers me. Everybody should be up in arms about that shit. That was so stupid. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version karuta cards spell out a message. That message, wet no 4. Wet no 4? You mean wet noodle number 4? Don't put words in his mouth that help him. Yes, wet noodle number 4, as the 4th head chef of Wet Soba is also known.
This message points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wet. No! That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? 11307, 11037, 11037. Upside down. What if I... Oh. Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence? Okay. Wait. Wow, we said that at the exact same time. I don't know if it actually, you guys saw it that way. I said wait, and he objected at the exact same time. It was creepy. So what they're saying is this person was somehow suffocated, but was still alive long enough after the person left to spell that out. The only way I could see that happening without any other type of but even this doesn't work. If they crushed his trachea, right? Like you see in those cool ass kung fu. They crush it. They're like, they could suffocate that way, right? But even then, you would still see bruising or something from the mark they would leave from all that pressure they'd be putting on the neck. If it were through suffocation from we know there's no liquid in the lungs. That was a big deal, right? So he wasn't stabbed and then blood filled his lungs, suffocated. That would be another way where he might have additional time to actually spell out something like that. Otherwise, how in the fuck could he have managed to do that? Yeah, he had to, and it wasn't even because it's easier to write something, right? Because it just comes from your head. So you're like, writing wet number 4. He had to go through and find the very specific cards and lay them out in a row neatly for someone to be able to understand. It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom do not agree. Objection. The gallery opinion means absolutely nothing. And again, nobody can understand what they're actually saying. That's not a real language. The game can put up whatever they want, but all I hear is what? I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here. I know you can hear them, defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused soul. Okay. Now it's actually gone past ridiculous, and it's actually kind of funny now. It's like he's trying to put a chloroform cloth up to her face. And just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Just rest and relax. Be over soon. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. I mean, he's not actually wrong about her being inexperienced, relatively speaking. But he still wouldn't be allowed to just say that. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here. A judge could call you out for your competence. Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own? I'm just not even going to read what the gallery says because they're trying to make it seem like it matters in the slightest, and I'm not going to entertain that stupidity. Ugh. Now, defense, leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Silence! Hey, strong to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Fina. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. Simon!
Oh, that's cool. We haven't gotten this like side of that pose yet, right? Or did we in 5-5? And you fop doodles in the gallery. Can a man watch a trial in peace? Fop doodles. This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around. Mood in his courtroom is starting to change. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing at the defense's bench? I'm bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this spring chick, lose my favorite soda shop in the process, I will be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin? Truly, what a fool you are. Oh, god damn, that's intimidating. To think you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified and capable, Athena? I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. And gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle. I'm not girding up anything in this skirt, but I am ready to get serious. I object to you saying it's time to get serious. It seems there's now yet another soul I must cast down into hell. I was in prison for a long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. Ah, but the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. Wait, he was in jail for like a year, right? Wait, no. He had been in jail before that. Let me shut up, because there's certain details I definitely don't remember. Yeah, because he was right, because that was a whole big thing, is he was a prisoner being brought in to prosecute. That's right. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds kind of fire. A white and black reverse panda, that is. And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. Okay, now we're getting a little too... we're getting a little too real here. Why don't you just paint the entirety of my story? A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life. Who are you calling a panda? Sorry. I see that you were both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Garu, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon. Does everything have to be about balloons with her? I think that's all she's got. Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Karuta cards. And who is the witness this time? First to discover the body. Someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Uendo Tornado. The time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on. Very well, let's bring in this witness then. Who does he look like? Oh, he has the face of, not Psycho. No, is it Psycho? In Psyche K, that same, like, eyes kind of drooping down, but also somehow they're like ultra condescending. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yeah, that's fucking. Ugh. Tori. What the web P? Something that's not a fucking web P. Jesus Christ. Okay. But like, I love this. It conveys so much about a person's character with just a look. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. I mean, you can kind of see it. A little blurry, but the eyebrows are even similar. I mean, his aren't as arched, but they're like very. It's a point of their appearances, heavily arched eyebrows. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna give him Psycho's voice then, as much as I can. I am the Reikugo storyteller, Window Tornado. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be a Raku no-no. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Hold it!
You can't leave yet. You've only just introduced yourself.
Oh, my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. Okay. That's kind of fire.
Ow! How'd you let it hit you? That couldn't have been going more than like 2 miles an hour. What do you think you're doing?
No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all.
Some people do treat it like a theater, even in real life.
A fan for a fan. Nice one. Oh, why if it isn't Simon? How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say?
I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Window.
Never performed in a place like this, you know. I got butterflies here, can't you see?
Why do I always get the weird ones? Because you're a weird one. Is everyone having problems? Is it something on my end? It doesn't tell me I'm dropping any frames, and I'm streaming at 9,000 kbps. Pardon me, witness. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand.
Okay, so that might just be a user side thing. Oh, that's unfortunate. I do suppose you're right. In that case, I was promoted to Futatsume yesterday and received the stage name of Uendo. The show was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing. And then that happened.
Did he smoke a fan?
It does look like a cigarette though, so I get it. That's actually kind of clever. That's a neat little design trick. I never dreamed something like that would happen, not in a million years. Just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shisho, too. Yeah, plus I'm worried about Geru. The way she clung to Shisho, poor thing. I told her to keep a stiff upper lip. Stiff like rigor mortis. But I'm bummed. Wait, who said that? It wasn't. I thought it was him. Oh, he's saying that that's what she said to him. Okay. Keep telling those lame jokes and Shisho will come scold you from the grave. Huh. I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. Wendo, please, as charming as your voice, oh, okay, yeah, so he's doing different characters. As charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage. I honestly did not catch that. Let us hear your testimony now, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. The witness doesn't need to be concerned about the proof of the accused's guilt. All they need to care about is what evidence was there that they are testifying to. I noticed Chisho's dying message right away. The stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, you see. Hey, now enough with the silly puns already! Anyway, I got the meeting right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. Oh, that was the master's final message, left as he was drowning in soba broth. It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style. That's his, like, because he's like a girl there, right? Like a girl of high-ranking social status. They have those long cigarettes. Well, that was certainly a more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid. He shouldn't be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. Innuendo, the murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say that the victim was drowned in soba broth? It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. What was I doing? It's only natural to assume he was drowned in the broth for the noodles. Except we're not here to assume things, Uendo, so please stick to just the facts. Good fucking work. It is not on the witness to speculate. There are some times where they might be allowed to speculate on certain things from the judge. Normally, this is something that will be a point of contention that the judge will have to. But I've seen it happen where the judge, because what they are asking to speculate on is not something that an expert witness or expert testimony would have to basically be what determines what actually happened. Like in this case, what he's talking about is how did the person die? Well, how the fuck would he know? He's not an expert in that area. The people that did the autopsy don't even know. So for him to assume that is not within, his within his scope as a witness right now, I would argue. Yo, Amir. I actually thought initially that he drowned in the soba too, but then the fact that it was like on its side and it looked like it was all well drained out. If it was always on its side, how would he have possibly drowned in it? but that also could be just how it went after whoever did it like lifted their hand off of him. And that's just kind of how it all fell together.
My, it's so like a soba chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? And with the character message he left behind, it's clear Buckwheat did it.
Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Okay, I can just say something I have as concise evidence and whoop. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused. Even I've got to admit that I can't see how that message can mean anything else. Use your fucking brain, Athena. There's no goddamn way that this person was drowned. Like, he is proposing something that makes even less sense. He proposed that he was drowned. So what he is proposing that had to have happened. Okay. Take my Klee hat. Little Klee hat that I can't actually fit unless my hair is really. So this is the bowl, and so he pushes his head into the bowl, and he's going like this, drowning. But while he's doing this and drowning, he's going through the deck that he can't even see and is arranging the cards before finally he falls limp. Because if he suffocated like that, he wouldn't have suffocated after the person lifted the pressure off of the back of his head. It isn't. It's I can see why you think that, but the color, it's actually in person. It's actually more red. It's the lighting that's doing it right now. But yeah, I'm looking at the stream and I can see why you would say that. But like looking at it here, it's significantly more red. Speaking of which, I didn't turn this. It doesn't even do anything. But when it's right, it's too. I feel that's too bright. Maybe it worked better if I gotta play around with the lights. Maybe turn the light off here, the top light, and work around with my rainbow lights and shit a little bit.
Bucky used soba for the deed, all to get back the soba shop deed.
Okay. I'm a big fan of of what he's doing. Those lame ass puns. Oh, no, those aren't puns. What are those? Not alliterations. Oh, I can't think of the word. Eh. Well, Sadmati's been more insufferable than he has in any other case so far, but he's become so insufferable that it's actually starting to get kind of funny. So, portmanteau? Yeah, that's not what I was thinking. I wouldn't have. That is not what I would have been able to pull from memory. I knew it was a thing, but
this testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something.
Antanaclasis? I have never heard of that word before. Portmanteau is mushing two words together. Okay. So that's like taking race and car and combining them to make race car. Which is also the other thing where it's spelled the same frontwards and backwards. They are right. I mean, like Rhetorical figure speech is a type of pun where a single word phrase is repeated with a sentence, but its meaning changes or shifts with each use. Yes, so that's what it is. I've just never heard of that word before. I knew it was a thing, but I've never heard it referred to as such before. Really interesting. So, ant, antenna, antenna classes, antenna classes. Interesting. Let's see. We all learned something. That is conclusive evidence. What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? What's this? I thought you say you weren't planning on asking me for help. I did, and I won't. Thank you very much. Simon must have found an inconsistency in the testimony. I'd better listen carefully and see what he found. This witness is kind of... See, it's really interesting. On first glance, I think this is the type of character where on first glance, doesn't actually seem all that interesting. It seems kind of not dull, but like, it's simple. Like there isn't really much going on, but when you look deeper, there's a fuck ton going on, and it all goes into how he can change into these different characters simply by moving certain parts of his body, which is really cool. I think this is an incredibly elegant design. Is he saying stiff like the stiff body? That's crazy. Palindrome was what I was thinking. I like know these things, but I never remember the fucking names. Okay. Well, he didn't write the name in the first place. Palindrome just sounds like a word that a very boring person would say. Like I only hear the name, the word in the most boring voice possible. And this is a palindrome. Like the voice in WarioWare. Do they still have that voice? Because that voice was awesome. The dude that would describe how you had to hold the Wiimote.
Objection!
Not that. Okay, so that was a little too obvious. He said, well, he couldn't write anything. I love how the two drink cans in the fridge are relevant.
Objection!
If he had drowned, they would have found stuff in his lungs. That's why he shouldn't be speculating anyways, because like this isn't even like a contradiction in the traditional sense of it actually being useful, because the contradiction comes from his suspicion, which okay, so we struck down his suspicion. is speculation. What does that actually help? Because it's not like it was worth anything in the first place. There's a contradiction in Uendo's testimony. And would you care to explain where, Miss Sachs? Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs. Ah, yes, it does say that, doesn't it? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than the soba broth. Doom! What? This is the contradiction you noticed, isn't it, Simon? Not bad at all. I guess I showed you. But if drowning in the soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl? Taifu Tornado's face was thrust into the bowl because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs. His head must have been placed in the bowl after he was killed. That's when the soba broth must have been spilled onto the karuta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined the cards up as he was drowning. But again, that's only the dude's speculation. It doesn't mean anything. So we're like doing all this hype stuff, and it's like, well, that evidence didn't actually matter. I see. So it was done after he was already dead. See, this is another, because I don't have my, I wasn't able to get my earbuds set up, which now I know how to do it, so we can give that a try for next. I still can't, I can hear it a little bit, but I can't play the monitor super loud, otherwise you guys are gonna hear it in the background. So I can only get the gist of it. So it really sucks that the music, I haven't been able to enjoy the music of this series contemporaneously with playing it. Except for, I started wearing headphones, I think, for the Great Ace Attorney, and the Great Ace Attorney was phenomenal in its soundtrack. Now I'm trying to go back to more professional. I could do that in the Great Ace Attorney because their attire wasn't even this, right? It was blouse and shit. So it was done after he was already dead. But why would the culprit do such a thing? Oh, I wonder. I'm afraid I don't know yet.
Objection.
Oh, he actually just said objection. He did that last case too. I don't think I noticed that he started actually just saying objection. Oh, I agree that the OST can make game experiences significantly better than they would have been otherwise. This type of game is different because of how I can connect with it, and then also with chat. But in a situation where those other things aren't present, and you would be missing out on the soundtrack, that sucks. You boast of psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive? My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. The motive would be to frame somebody. What, and I suppose you know why? Of course, desecrating the body in that manner. Oh, the body, to make it seem like he drowned in his own bowl. Indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator. Yes, that does make sense. It certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim. That is incredibly speculative. And doesn't actually do anything to further the case? Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Objection, speculation. Just great. Now the judge has an even more unfavorable impression of Bucky. Silence! Must you come undone at every juncture. If the culprit had time enough to set up Master Tornado's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that.
Objection.
But the accused rational... but was the accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of that room?
Silence.
Never mind that. I have something more important to ask in your window. Me? You saw the Karuta cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know. Well, those cards are from Shisho Special Soba Scenes of Tokyo Pass set. Each card is related in some way to Soba. Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more. Well, there was soba broth spilled all over them. That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Satmade, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly? I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor. Oh my, what delightful looking cards. Well. Tearing prosecutor Sad Monk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this. Huh? Don't tell me you haven't noticed. Don't be silly. Of course I have. Not noticed anything, but I can't exactly say that now, can I? Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with the prosecution's claims about these cards? They'll go on then. All right, it's do or die. All I have to do is study the picture and these cards are kind of a riddle. Rearranged. How would I know if they were rearranged? The case is fine. No. Sorry, that was rhetorical. What else can it spell? Now the 4, the now 4, or the now? Or now the own? Oh, okay, I see. They're rearranged because the cards, it's a lot simpler than I thought. I was looking at like the card meanings and stuff like that. They're rearranged because the spill does not line up with how the cards were arranged. These cards were rearranged. How can you tell? Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer is right in front of us. Where exactly should we be looking? Please focus your attention on the soba broth stains on these cards. The outline of these stains don't match up with the larger stain on the table. Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And please recall that the soba broth was spilled and got on the cards after the murder. The victim's face was placed in the bowl. Yes, go on. By the stains, we can see that the culprit was deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this message was altered in order to pin the crime on my client. What? Then if we put the cards back in their original positions, we can restore the evidence and see who the cards were really pointing towards. That still doesn't make any sense. That's true. Okay. Eat ass, bitch. I don't know where that came from. That might have been legitimate irritation with him. Okay. Let's relax. Don't need to get that excited. Then what are we waiting for? Let's do this. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so that the stains match up. Let's see, where was this W card? It was here. Right here. Right here. Perfect. Okay, the H card is next. Where does the H go? Yes, now the E card. Where was the E card originally? Perfect match. Next up is the T. Now the N. O.
Take that!
O and fourth. So the message, wet number 4, was originally supposed to say O and fourth. And this original message is our clue to the identity of the true culprit. What? The indignant look on Prosecutor Sadmong's face is positively priceless. This is absurd. Incoherent message. Order in the court. Well, I never would have imagined that there was more to these cards than meets the eye. Really, Judge? After everything we've been through together, you never would have imagined? Are you kidding me? So now that that's settled, what does this Owen Fourth mean? I don't know. Wait, am I? Who else do you suppose is to provide an explanation? Of course it's you. But I hadn't thought that far yet. Change the cards around all you'd like, but if you cannot explain what the message means, then it is as worthless as you are, defense. Absolutely not. It is definitely still worth something because part of your whole case is that he identified the killer, which now he hasn't. So we all know this is a problem with the game in general, right? Oh, you have to both disprove that your client didn't do it, and then you have to prove who else really did it. Otherwise, your client's still guilty, which is the most dumb as rocks fucking system in history. No! So the spring chick that fancies itself a graceful swan is brought back down to earth. I have to do something, but what? Steal your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness there's a perfectly good witness question over there. Oh, right, that's a good idea. Oh, Athena, get a hold of yourself. Window, does the phrase Owen Fourth mean anything to you? No, there's no one named Owen in the Tornado family or our circle of friends. Go ahead, ask anybody you'd like. You can't be serious. Having rummaged through your empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing. Silence! Afraid I have no idea who the devil this Owen Fourth is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Wet. That in itself proves that the defendant isn't the real culprit. No. That in itself proves that somebody, or that that the victim did not identify our client as the killer. He could still be the killer. Though it would be weird for him to have killed him and then rearrange the cards to identify himself. Although Uendo still could have done that, even though he wasn't the one who killed him, though that would also be strange. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. Besides, the important question here is not who does the message point to, but rather, who rearranged the cards? Why don't you point that out earlier if you already knew? Sorry. In any case, there were two opportunities for someone to rearrange the cards. First was when Mr. Wet entered the dressing room. Second was when Uendo discovered the body. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Me, who came to testify of the goodness of my heart? Well, you didn't exactly come running out screaming straight away, did you? Even a mere 2 to 3 minutes is more than enough time to get up to some devilry. So what exactly were you doing in that window? Put down the tea and spit out your answer. Mr. Prosecutor, what's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only to stay silent. That is not okay. You can not tell the witness that while they're on the stand. I wonder if that would even be grounds for a mistrial. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. None of this is okay. None of that. None of that. Again, could be grounds for a mistrial or just kicking him off the case.
Oh, I see. So that's what they're after, is it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word.
Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law. But you, as the prosecutor, cannot provide him legal advice, for he is not your client. Like, he is committing, I guess, at least 2 ethical violations there. Providing legal advice to somebody who's not a client, which you cannot do. You have to establish an attorney-client relationship before you should be giving legal advice to anybody. Why I always say that I'm never giving legal advice on this channel. Only providing general legal insights based off a video game. And then actually trying to manipulate the witness on the stand by providing legal advice. And causing the witness to be tainted by, again, directing the witness as to what they can and cannot do.
Well, Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share?
Did you hear that, Slanks Dono? The Rakugo artist is afraid to speak. Who's ever heard of such a thing? Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick will never work.
That's right. I'm not going to fall for it.
I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, it's not your job to tell your tales if there is an audience to listen.
Even and so, I have the right to refuse to answer.
The more you keep quiet, the more we want you to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right, people of the gallery? Oh God, now we're doing it. This turnabout is fair play. Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk. So then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend.
Are you saying I should quit because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know? Oh no, never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk, it's absolutely terrifying. But no, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. If I don't know, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify.
He did it. He managed to convince Uendo with his power of suggestion technique. If the people have the right to invoke the Fifth Amendment to remain silent as to not incriminate themselves, it makes even less sense then to have the law be, well, you have to prove who did it. Because that makes it even more difficult then. Bully for you, Uendo. That's as real Rakugo artists should be. All right, if the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. Turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirits.
After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless.
What I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony.
Of course there aren't any, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor Sadmati's right. I don't see anything inconsistent either. I did pick up on some faint discord in Uendo's heart.
Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation.
Hold it!
It is legitimately irritating the amount of times we have to like remind the judge we still have the right to cross examination. Like having the prosecutor continuing to do that is just pathetic. And it's like not really compelling for me. I can see why that would be for the layman. But for me, it's just pathetic and more of an annoyance than any actual um like dramatic storytelling. I disagree, Your Honor. I detected discord in the voice of the witness's heart. I forgot that she actually talks out loud about this. There's a clear indication that Uendo is facing some sort of inner turmoil. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes? Yes, Your Honor. Defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on this witness.
Objection!
Wendo, there is no need for you to submit to this so-called therapy. It's fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on. You stupid, ugh, impetuous fool. Why would you not listen to the guidance of this humble servant of the Holy Mother? Well, probably because you shouldn't be offering that guidance in the first place, Prosecutor Sadmani, as it is not your place. If the witness wishes to proceed, I see no problem, Prosecutor. In one ear and out the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance, Prosecutor Sadmonk. Seeing two prosecutors insult each other is actually pretty funny, though. Just know this, Wendo. Your folly will surely earn you divine retribution. Hey, Simon, I'm gonna make the most of this opportunity you created for me. Hey, just keep your wits about you. I will. Wendo, could you tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? Well, I mean, usually prosecutors are not on the opposite sides, like, ever. Oh, right. But he didn't reply, and I'm still happy.
Got it!
Managed to assert a thoughtful, calculated hypothesis. Why would this be... I guess I don't see why this is... I guess we'll see.
Got it!
Oh, no. What is the... Am I not remembering how this... Do I have to show that, like, he should also be in shock?
Got it!
Okay, yeah. So it's not just pointing out whatever emotion they are experiencing. You can also point out what is not being experienced. That that is what I forgot.
Wendell, I'm noticing something strange with these emotions.
I have honestly no idea what Matlock is like. I probably saw a couple episodes when I was like 5 or 6. Do not remember anything. I have no insight.
Some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. How could you have heard some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who's got some cheese in my ears. Did he will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke?
I'm trying to get past it. I'm trying to push forward. So let's just keep moving. Let's just keep moving. Forget he ever said that.
The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now stop hiding and come out where we can see you.
Bailiff, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions. Where'd the other ones go? Oh.
So what was this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on. His Honor said a few cushions, not a few dozen.
Now that we've all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Sachs.
Who's laughing?
I don't know, it sounds like the judge is laughing at least.
That was funny.
Focus, Athena. Bug. Need to go wash my hands real quick. Right back. I'm gonna play a little old ad for all that'll get ads, so don't freak out. Something that's happening while I go wash my hands. God, it's hard to it's on carpet. Okay. I don't know if you guys noticed, but chair has been replaced. This was the chair I bought for myself for when I was working in offices, bringing my own chairs, because like office chairs that they buy for attorneys were pretty good, but not great. At least not for a man of my height. So this is just how I prioritize things, but I think two things, or I should say, there are two parts of your body that when you're thinking about spending money on them, you should spare no expense. Back and butt. So I do not buy cheap mattresses or chairs. I'd rather like cut costs on another something else instead. But I feel like even though I have this, this sedentary life where I'm sitting a lot, whatever, I feel like my back, my butt feel better than they ever had. I was using bad chairs, a lot older than when the last time that happened. Um, so just so important. Keep because that's all your core. You want to make sure that is not uncomfy. Just my unk advice. Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Uendo. Don't you think that's a little odd? Yeah, now that I'm not working in an office anymore, again, I could finally bring this home and use it here. Because now this is my home. For now. Is it though? Lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. I think I know why. Reason Uendo wasn't shaken when he saw his master's dead body. He zoned out. Uendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew you would find your master dead. Phew! What kind of thing is that to say? You've got it all wrong. Oh, right, I just remembered something. I thought Shisto was just sleeping when I first saw him. Hee hee. You thought he was sleeping. Sounds plausible, but well, yeah. So going to the gym's also going to help, obviously, because you're going to help um, your core get built up, and that is going to alleviate a lot of uh, back pain and stuff, um, which can compensate. Just like not going to the gym for a while, like I was, the chair compensated for that. Now I do both. I do chair and go to the gym to try to help my core strength. But like you're doing a lot of one, it can compensate for not having the other. But generally speaking, you want to have both. I'm not sure if you're mad at me or being a source of entertainment that you sat and watched, or if you're happy that we had this conversation. What made you think he was asleep? Well, he was slumped over. That's the first thing I would assume. I wouldn't assume somebody was dead. Well, he had his head and arms up on the table as if he were taking a nap.
Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too.
A note? What note? Ah, he must be talking about this that I haven't presented for some reason. It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting. Do not disturb.
Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisho was napping?
That is a pretty reasonable assumption. You've got to be kidding me. Emotions are not binary. Fair.
That's right. I saw this note, so that's why I thought Shisho was asleep. I want to change my testimony to include that statement.
All right, I'll run an update. Where do you find the note? On the card? The fuck you so mad for? Dog, what are you so mad for? I want to know.
Got it!
Dog, why are you so mad at that point? Mad, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh even with my emotions. Oh no, that was supposed to be the kid voice, whatever. I didn't mean that kind of funny or mad. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger, mad. What I want to know is what made you feel angry all of a sudden?
What? Let's see. Oh, yeah, I remember. Now I remember. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something.
Good God. So this is annoying. Because it's related to a foot thing. I don't know, do you guys have this overseas? Like you take an infant's foot and you go through this, like each toe is supposed to represent one piggy who did something. And then by the time you get to the it's so stupid. But it's something like let's use a hand. Like this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. That's how you like kind of move the toe like that. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And then in the last one, you go. And this God, why is this a thing? And this little piggy cried wee 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 all the way home, and you're like vigorously moving the pinky toe back and forth, and that tickles them. So, yeah, I don't. Went to the market means sold to slaughter. That makes even less sense why we're doing this with children then.
I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Hee hee.
Wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Just a little bump on my little piggy. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. Better dig a bit deeper. No need to be embarrassed, Wendo, but I'm afraid it's something we do need to look into. Oh, thank God we don't have to look at his foot. I really don't see anything you could have stubbed your toe on. What are you talking about? It looks like there's a little hitch going from outside to inside.
Doesn't look like there's anything you could have stubbed your toe on in the area around the dressing room door in this picture.
Oh, I disagree. I think your depth perception is terrible.
Maybe there was something there at the time.
Or maybe my depth perception is terrible. Oh, I didn't know Christy did that. Yes, that is a good point, Trep. If that is where he stubbed it, stubbing it on his pinky toe would be very strange because he would have to be walking in an incredibly weird manner or stepping up in an incredibly weird manner for his big toe to have been fine, but his pinky toe getting caught on it. So if the only way then he could have hit his pinky toe is if he did it on the side of the door, like the door frame.
Window, what exactly did you stub your toe on?
Objection! What an irrelevant question. That would be objection relevance. Your Honor, you dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays.
You tell her. Really, who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? You really gotta fuss over every small detail like this?
Well, the thing is,
even the most subtle of fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us into the truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insult Simon will hurl my way.
but what motivation?
Is there really no trace left of what Uendo could have stubbed his toe on by the door? What in the world might have been there then, but is not there now?
Well, I don't think I noticed that the table had moved. So the TV's not plugged in, so he could have moved that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's actually the clear path. I was just thinking because it wasn't plugged in, and having it there and not plugged in seems weird. But yeah, then there's the actual path.
Take that!
Please take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across the room?
Now that you mention it, I do see traces of something getting dragged.
The drag mark ends there at the TV. That implies that the TV was originally by the door. I'm convinced that this TV is the object the witness stubbed his toe on.
Which is why he then let out a cry that Blackwell heard.
Well, Wendo, how about it?
Yes, you're right. It was the TV.
There, the noise level dropped again. Yes, I stubbed my pinky toe on the TV. But what of it? Why is this so important to you? The noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet. It means he's still hiding something. Okay, then let's try this tactic instead. Wendell, why was the TV moved there? Shisho must have moved it so he could watch my routine. What a place to put it, right in the middle of the doorway like that. I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performance on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. That's right, it's a closed circuit monitor that shows the stage. I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place.
Oh yeah, there is a plug there, but that doesn't look like the cord would reach that. I mean, maybe, but that looks like a pretty short cord. This is something where I demand we measure the cord.
Still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy.
This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother.
Sorry, God, I'm getting tired of her apologizing. It's like hurting. It's starting to like hurt the aura.
I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the soda shop. Oi, window. Here's a curiosity for you. This table master tornado is slumped over, looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while you were moving the TV back?
Oh my, yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisho's body moved with the jolt. That's when I first realized that Shisho was dead. Oh, but how scared I was. Oh, but how scared I was.
I see. Thank you. Finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I'd wager you need to put the spurs to innuendo just a trifle longer.
Right. Can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Wendell, what you said just now about discovering your master's death, could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? All right. But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. Hey, happy birthday, Super. God, go to sleep. I mean, I appreciate you watching, but you need some sleep. Dude felt nothing. I guess he thought he was sleeping. Why is the monitor facing that way? Okay. Sniff, 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 sniff.
Got it!
I mean, the sadness is way more than the shock. I think that's personally kind of weird, but I guess not. Like, it's a lot shocked, but like, that makes sense to me. Can I point out that the TV's pointing the other way despite him going, oh, I think he was watching my show?
Maybe it doesn't
Got it!
That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it that surprised you, Wendo, besides your master's death? I mean, like, I guess I didn't see that as too weird. Like, you can develop, like, shock at different levels, right? What was it that surprised you, Wendo, besides your master's death? I guess I'm not one to talk. I'm also a night owl. What do you mean? What's more, you were even more surprised the second time than the first. It all happened within like a minute. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me, your little thingy must have made a mistake.
Silence! Girl's as sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now get to remembering, Wendo. What was it that surprised you?
That was a compliment, right? Well, No, we pushed him too hard, and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control.
Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant?
You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions in a witness's voice, right? From there, I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. And sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings.
That's how your Matrix program works. Fascinating.
Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. It seems there's nothing ordinary about it this time. I... I knew it. Just got your knickers all in a bunch now. The window has multiple emotions. British all of a sudden. The window has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. I've never seen anything like this ever. So how does one bring a situation like this back under control? I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat it. I can identify what is causing this emotional rampage, and I can probe L to dive in further. I'll need to point to what I think is the root cause and hit probe again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing the window so much distress. That will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we? All right. I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Pufferfish have my vote. Time to look at the root cause of Window's rampaging emotions. It has many sharp things. Why is he mad? Why was he mad? That seems...
Got it!
And then he's sad for some reason. Why? Point, like, there isn't many things I can point at. Like, these are the two things that seem the most odd to me.
Got it!
Not that. Oh, do they want me? Because she said he saw something, right? That must have made him more shocked. Oh, maybe he knows what the Owen thing is?
Got it!
I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. Dying message that was left at the scene of the crime is what was causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, then that means the phrase Owen Forth must mean something to you. There. Noise level 0. Fine. Shut it up.
Oh, here we go again.
The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and Forth. But neither of these 2 words have anything to do with this witness. Stop it warrants no further argument.
Based on you saying that it doesn't?
Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between the window and the message. For now. But why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory? Hey, I trust you informed something, Athena. Yep, if my theory is right, we can finally solve the case of Uendo and the mysterious Owen 4. Yeah, well, go on then. I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. It is very satisfying when the music goes. There was something puzzling to me about Uendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were three distinct reactions present. I'd never seen that before and wondered how it could be possible. But didn't we see that in the last game? Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So, could a person flip between three distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch?
Oh, yeah. That's different.
In the end, I concluded that it just wasn't possible. That's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology. In the realm of psychology, I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Maybe as an expert witness. No, not. Your Honor, my theory is that Uendo...
Okay. I don't know how to feel about this. Because as soon as you guys told me that he was doing like different bits, I was like, oh, is this going to be a multiple personality angle? And I'm like, is that really any good story-wise here? And my initial reaction is no. But I should let it play out. Yeah, I think that's what they're saying is here. Dissociative identity disorder. Disassociative personality disorder. Dissociative identity disorder. That's the one. With so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uendo has dissociative identity disorder. Hey! They did identify it correctly. Good for them. One interesting thought is, and again, this is somebody who's, I guess I'm not, what would you call somebody? Well, sense either. I'm not a psychologist, but I do have a degree in psychology. So I'm a little more well versed on the topic than someone who just talks to Chat GPT or looks up YouTube videos, but also nowhere near an actual psychologist, right? So that's how you can take this. Maybe with 2 grains of salt instead of 1. I thought I have is there are situations where there's whether or not DID is actually real is still contested because there are still people out there that say, and I'm not saying this negatively because I don't know. I don't really, I mean, I tend to, with the amount of times this has been a thing in history, I tend to think it might be possible, but I definitely believe there are people out there that will try to use its theory, its its existence as like a way for them to manipulate a situation one way or the other, as opposed to somebody who has actually had these personalities arise. But one interesting thing I don't see, um, that I don't see explored as much, but I think is actually a really a much more interesting um, story, at least when it comes to telling a story, is when the person intentionally starts doing all these different characters as a way of coping with something, and like they know that they have these different characters because initially, at least, they're going in between each of them, but over time, they start to develop their own, like, doesn't become as aware that the personalities are potentially switching. That to me would be interesting. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Yes, the mask starts to consume the face. What does that even mean? Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition indeed. Well, I mean, considering you misidentified it, yeah, I guess it is kind of preposterous. It's specifically renamed that way. I don't think it was done. I thought it was done because DID actually more accurately represents what is allegedly happening within the brain, as opposed to just saying it's multiple personalities. Would you not agree, witness? How did she know? How did she figure it out? Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, your country has spirit medium channelers. Relax. I can't believe it. I did it. I did it, Simon. Oh, what? Just expect a pat on the back now. I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey, Rock artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities? Hey, you lawyer girl. You got a problem with us, huh? No, no problem at all. This is all very hard to believe. But now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court? Uendo Tornado. I'm a Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello, everybody. Patches, the friendly jester here. Hee hee. Kisagawa, courtesan. Courtesan? Is that all of you? You have another one. That all of you? Yes. That's all of us. There are 3 personalities in total. Wendo, Patches, and Kisagawa, huh? Well, Simon, what do you think now? Bet you're one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out. Well, in theory, it's a if it's gotten to the point where it is a disorder, they can't control it. So it was going to reveal itself at some point. I guess it had been multiple times, and we just assumed it was a acting, though. So, yes, maybe that is the case. You appear to be quite proud of your self-defense. All you have done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, they keep marking 3 personalities, but we've saw a 4th reaction. New way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen. A new interpretation? Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sachs? Knowing what we know about Wendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. Uh. Oh, the fourth personality is Owen.
Take that!
The Karuta cards.
That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen Forth could have possibly meant. But now, with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen Forth actually means a secret fourth personality of Uendo's? A personality named Owen?
What? Oh, Konka.
Uendo must have kept his disassociative identities sort of from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message.
No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether.
We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act out various Rakugo characters. If word of this got out, well,
Our reputation as Rakugo artists would be tarnished, as with the tornado name. That's why we kept it a secret from everyone except members of the tornado school. But really, there is no fourth personality. It's just the three of us in here. Plausible enough sounding story. It doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? But I will concede that it is highly likely that the witness rearranged the cards.
Prosecutor Samare actually agreeing with us?
Every time he said us, I thought it was being done in a way that he was referring to the members of the tornado school. Maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention. I mean, based on his hair, he does seem like he would actually be a weeb. Yeah, no, I'm sure that was intentional. I'm just saying, like, I don't think you were necessarily supposed to come to that conclusion just by seeing us, even if it came across several times, if you could have associated it with the school. That I think it's definitely a thing where it's meant to, you go back and you go, oh, because sometimes that's how they want you to like experience it, which is neat, because then that gives it like this little stuff like that sprinkled throughout a game can give it more replayability. However, it is not also is it not also possible? I hate when people do that. Like, you don't have to say it that way. That the accused killed Master Tornado. And then left that message in order to frame the witness. That is plausible, yes. But the problem with this theory is if Uendo doesn't believe there is a fourth personality, why would they have had any reason to believe Owen Forth was referring to them? I should mention too, I don't want this to get twisted in any way. I believe that the idea exists. I don't know in what way it actually ever manifests. To be able to have an idea of when it can happen, when it can't happen, or like when it's real versus when it's someone who's trying to manipulate things. Sorry, I've had this on my mind the whole time we've been going through it. But as far as storytelling goes, the way that I presented it was a way that was like, I find that to be the more interesting way of storytelling, because I don't see that very often. And so that would come as like a whoa, wow, sort of like hit. Sorry, like I said, that's been on my mind since we started talking about that. Oh, Athena. No, it's not Ung. It's not Ung. It's... They say there is no Owen, so why would they be worried about that? If there is no Owen, it's so obvious. I mean, like, the response is obvious, but he was still right to bring up that argument. If that makes any sense. Like, because you still want to sow doubt, even if there is a reasonable explanation behind what your contention is. Just because there's a reasonable explanation does not make it the explanation. And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Wendo rearranged them.
Silence!
A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Tornado School knew about Wendo's multiple personalities. Wendo just finished saying so himself. That is true. Ultimately meaningless point. That is a true, ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
And who's to say you couldn't have done it before his discovery?
Objection!
That spring chick memory of yours. You already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony. Simon's testimony? Oh. My God, guys, it's so obvious. He had the television was pointed outward, and the reason it was pointed outward instead of where he could actually see it is because they were playing whatever was performing through the door so you could hear it. And they assumed it was him, but it wasn't him. It was whatever the performance or practice was going on. He had been murdered prior to that. And then the sound of his wailing or whatever was when he fucking stubbed his toe. That's right, until just a few moments before Wendo entered the dressing room. Typhoid Tornado was confirmed to still be alive. He was not confirmed to be alive. Oh, no! Oh, she goes none. I forgot about that. Not only that, but Wendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. Bulletproof alibi that I've already confirmed with several audience members. Oh, no! I also heard that his Rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture. Yes, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the place I did.
And yet I have a perfect alibi.
Indeed, why not land the coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi, witness?
Okie dokie, Smokey. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. My performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show.
Wendell was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime.
Because we only saw him at the beginning, and he has never been back since because he was drunk. He was shit-faced drunk and puking, so he had to go to the infirmary.
It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on.
Well, get this, Prosecutor Submoddy. The Wright Anything Agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end.
Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on. Bang.
And allow me to say once more, I'm never giving up.
Let it go and never. This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will.
That is assault and battery. She was battered. Oh no! Anything but this! Is he actually electrocuting her? Dog. That might be legitimately worse than anything Francisca ever did. Oh, it was tightening? Okay. Well, that might be on par with the whip then. Either way, it's assault and battery, and he should be escorted from the court immediately and taken into custody. What's the big idea, Prosecutor Sadmati? I don't remember him doing it to Phoenix. I mean, he was there. He could have done it. Okay, so I probably complained about it already.
That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed?
As if.
In that case, you must require another dose.
Just move, Athena, or that.
You're bloody likely. Ugh. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. If Sykes don't know how to submit to you here, I won't be able to eat good sober anymore.
That's right. For Mr. Wet's future and Professor Blackwell's stomach, Black Quill, I will never give up.
You will rue those words, defense. Of that I can assure you.
Oh, he got Phoenix's arm. Apollo's forehead makes sense. I don't remember the Phoenix's arm. All right, actually, this is a good time to stop. Man, I really miss investigation portions a lot. Hopefully we have some in this case. Guess we'll see.
It's like that's where the best characteristics come out. Or at least I won't say best, but I will say the foundations of the characters are recognized, and that adds better characterizations than just when they are under pressure in a courtroom. So yeah, this will be the end of the stream, my friends. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are all likely going to be Genshin Impact. Then I'll probably take a day break Friday and come back Saturday and do the next stream. So that is when I plan on it happening. Next Saturday, same normal starting time. Okay, that sound good? All right, well, everybody have a good day, and yeah, see you guys next time. Thanks for coming, I appreciate you. Until next time. Bye.